With a major selection of the looks your kiddos love starting at just $4 in the Walmart app, a new school year means a stylish new them. Who knew? Find skater skirts and Crocs that say, I'm casual but cool. Sparkly sneakers that say, it's my classroom, you're just learning in it. And preppy polos that say, I'm the teacher's pet, even if they're mommy's menace at home. Find their favorite styles starting at just $4 in the app. The Walmart you thought you knew is now new.
This episode is brought to you by Nespresso and Samra Origins by the Weekend Coffee Collection.
Introducing Samra Origins. My collaboration with Nespresso is a connection to my roots, to my mother, Samra. Coffee that hits the right notes. It transports you. Crafted with unique notes and bold, soaring flavors. Experience a taste that moves you. Nespresso and Samra Origins.
Discover more at Nespresso.com.
Raise the rudders! Raise the sails! Raise the sails!
Captain, an unidentified ship is approaching. Over.
Roger. Wait, is that an enterprise sales solution?
Reach sales professionals, not professional sailors. With LinkedIn ads, you can target the right people by industry, job title, and more. Start converting your B2B audience today. Spend $250 on your first campaign and get a free $250 credit for the next one. Get started today at linkedin.com/campaign. Terms and conditions apply.
Hey, it's Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. Now, I was looking for fun ways to tell you that Mint's offer of unlimited premium wireless for $15 a month is back. So I thought it would be fun if we made $15 bills. But it turns out that's very illegal. So there goes my big idea for the commercial. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan equivalent to $15 per month required. New customer offer for first 3 months only. Speed slow after 35 gigabytes if network's busy. Taxes and fees extra. See mintmobile.com.
This episode is brought to you by State Farm. Life gets easier with great assists, and State Farm is here to dish one your way. Get in touch over the phone or on the app to get the teammate you need. State Farm with the assist. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability and eligibility vary by state.
And so we will dive into the defense in part 2 here. And I will lead us off, Johnny, with our player spotlight on Jihad Campbell. And so this is another perk of the Patreon. In our $7 a month tier, which is brand new, one of the things that you get is the opportunity to vote on a player spotlight. And Eric and I will take turns each week watching every single snap of the winning player. And this week, people voted for Jihad Campbell, and I was the one up to watch this. So it's a 45-minute video of me watching every snap in the Patreon. You can go check out, and it's actually available for free members this week. So just join as a free member. You can preview it. But I wanted to point out a few things from Campbell. And I think I will preface by saying Campbell played really well. I'm going to point out some negatives because no player plays perfectly. And that doesn't mean I think he played poorly. So the first clip, and these are in sequential order, is a negative. He's slow to get downhill in the run game. And so watch him on this play. And look at the lane that he has to shoot into the backfield here. Tell me that you watched Nakobe Dean last year and that Nakobe Dean wouldn't have shot that gap, because Campbell doesn't. And if you watch his feet, he kind of jumps around. And this isn't just one play. He does this multiple times, but he's jumping around. He's not really sure what to do. And I think he sees it, but I think he just doesn't trust his eyes and his instincts at times in the run game, and I fully expect that to get better. Second play, he is here at the hash, and the Eagles are going to spin into a cover 3, and so Reed Blankenship is stepping down to the flat, and the running back releases to the flat. And I like that Jihad Campbell sort of bluffs at the running back, takes that hop, and then he turns and finds the seam threat to run up the seam. Now, he might be a little slow there. If Dak wanted to throw that, there might have been space to throw it. But he's thinking the right thing here. And the ball comes out to the running back. Reed Blankenship makes the tackle for virtually no gain. This is probably my second favorite play of him. He's walked down to the edge here, which is something the Eagles did a ton. This is going to be a play-action pass. And I talked about get heavy, run the play-action pass. Jihad Campbell spoils this one because he engages with this tight end, reads that it's a pass, and he recovers into coverage. So many times you see that tight end throw the guy to the side and be wide open for a walk-in touchdown. I thought that was really good awareness. But this is the best play of the game. This is him as the pole runner in Tampa 2. And so you get motion into a 4-by-1 set. And Tampa 2, basically means we've got a safety outside the hashes on either side, and we have all this open space in the middle of the field. And somebody has to be the pole runner. This time it's Jihad Campbell. If somebody goes vertically up the seam, you have to carry that. And I just love the way he recognizes this. This tight end is running full speed when he's even with Campbell. And Campbell drop steps and just chases him down and makes a perfect play on this ball. And Zach Bond is fired up because Zach Bond knows what an awesome play that is. And I just love that. And I showed this one from the back view too. Oh no, I didn't either. Sorry. But Zach Bond is just fired up because he knows that's an incredible play. And then back to a bad play. He gets walked down to the edge on the left side here, and he's going to get Tyler Smith, number 73, pulling at him. And we've seen Nolan Smith just kill these pulling guards before. Jihad Campbell and Nolan Smith are basically the same size. Campbell's like an inch taller and 4 pounds lighter. But watch the way he gets just washed out here. Now, it doesn't help that Adoree Jackson pancakes himself, but it's on Campbell and it's on Adoree Jackson here. And shout out to Zach Bond for essentially saving the game here. Watch where Zach Bond comes from. I'm sure you're going to talk about this, but he's outside the opposite hash, and he runs this play down. Like, Miles Sanders scores a touchdown if Zach Bond doesn't do that.
Miles Sanders.
And it's game over. But the Cowboys fumble a couple plays later. And then this last one, I thought this was also really good. The Eagles are going to run a quarter-half coverage. And so the quarter side is the bottom of the screen, and they're going to run a dagger concept. So we're running off this safety and going to try to throw the dig behind it. If you watch Jihad Campbell, he realizes there's nothing he's responsible for, and he follows Dak's eyes to this dig route. And CeeDee Lamb drops this. But I like that he looks for work here. He's following Dak's eyes. And let's just say that Lamb catches that. Campbell is right there to lower the boom on him. And that's going to make that be a hard catch. It's going to make it hard for you to want to make that catch or trust anything over the middle of the rest of the game, too. So I thought he played really well. He played 56 snaps in this game. 13 of them he played on the edge, 43 of them in the box as a linebacker. Overall, he has 3 tackles, a defensive stop, a forced fumble, and a pass breakup. And I think it was a really good game from Campbell. So, again, every snap is available in the Patreon, but good first game by Jihad Campbell.
Yeah, man, he was better than I thought he'd be. I'll be honest. His coverage ability was like, okay, he's going to be really good. They'll teach the run game stuff. Like, I feel from the Kobe Dean, he's not playing. He'll play some snaps. He's not taking him off the field, Shane. The Kobe Dean doesn't cover like Jihad Campbell does. I've never seen the Kobe Dean cover like that. Dean can fly downhill, and he's definitely got a role to play. Teams want coverage linebackers these days. Like, they'll think they can handle the run game stuff in other ways. You can't teach the coverage ability he put on show. Yeah, he was better than I thought he'd be, I'll be honest. It was a really exciting debut. I think give it like 8-10 weeks, he might be already up there as like a top linebacker in this league. And we'll see. It's early, but he looked really good. I want to end with a positive. I sometimes like ending with a positive. So let's get a very quick negative out of the way in the most obvious point of all time. Quarterback 2 is a problem. It's a problem, Shane. Bennett didn't play very much, and when he did, he got beat, twice, pass interference once. At least he competed, so I'd probably give him a chance. Adoree Jackson wasn't there. Like, let's be real, he wasn't there. The run game stuff in that play was bad enough. I don't want to show every single snap because it will bore everyone, but I'll just show play 1. And the reason why play 1 annoyed me was, do you know what? I know Fangio asks his cornerbacks to play soft. I know that sometimes Darius Slay did it, Quinion Mitchell did it, they frustrate us, and sometimes they give up like 8 yards of coverage and they give up a 4 yard and everyone goes, why are they doing that? And I think Fangio does it. What I don't like is when you're a vet cornerback and you're playing a fire zone style coverage, and if you pause it here, you know where your help is. You have outside leverage, you have a safety, you're meant to funnel him across to the safety. You've also got linebackers underneath. So if CeeDee Lamb's run directly across the field here, he'll end up running into like Bourne, or I think that's Blankenship, or DeJean on the left. I'm not sure what one it is. But one of these guys will help out because there's no one else. It's a shot play. He will get his eyes back around. The only thing that your job here is the sideline. That's your job. And you're playing with outside leverage. And, all right, if you're going to get beat by CeeDee Lamb, I can accept it. Even with everything I've just said, I can still accept you getting beat to the sideline, but you've got to be in the vicinity. You can't get beat like this. Like, you can't that's your area. Like, that's your zone. If he goes and runs a post or like, look at, I think it's Blankenship or Bourne, isn't it? I can't see at the top of the screen. Basically, that guy there.
I think that's DeJean.
DeJean. So if you go back to the crossing route, anything like a Y cross, anything going straight across the field is going to be taken by him, and anything deep post wise, anything deep post wise is going to go to the safety. Your sole job, and when you're a vet cornerback, like, we're not a rookie. This isn't Ringo making rookie errors. This is a guy who's played in schemes before, and it was rough. Like, it was rough. They're going to have to find a solution for that. We'll figure out what a solution is one day. Maybe they'll trade for someone. Maybe something else will happen. But that wasn't good enough, that particular play. And for a vet guy, I'll be honest, Shane, there was a play where he got beat by like Cowboys backup tight end too, and I was just like, yeah, this ain't it. Like, I don't think he's got any more juice left, but we'll see. But yeah, that you can't get beat like that because you've got so much help elsewhere. So yeah, that was disappointing. So I won't waffle about it for a long time because everyone knows it was poor, but it was really poor. It wasn't very good. It wasn't a C, as I said.
Yeah. Well, I'll get on to my next point, and I'll tie in J-Rock's comment here that Hunt just missed a strip sack on that play. And my second point is about the pass rush, which was better than expected. I thought, watching the game, the pass rush just wasn't any good. And I talked about on the post-game that you lose Jalen Carter, that's a big part of it, and it's just hard to judge any of that. Jalen Carter's the kingmaker on the defensive line. The opposing offense has to game plan around him, and it leaves guys open. But actually, you go back and watch it, it wasn't that bad. So I've got a few clips here. On this one, vaunted pass rusher Jordan Davis wins inside against Cooper Beebe and almost gets a sack. Jalix Hunt almost gets a sack, and unfortunately it's a big completion, but it was really close. We go to this next one. Josh Uche at the top of the screen. He's going to win inside. Totally abuses Terrence Steele there and doesn't get the sack. Dak gets the ball out. Now you're going to get Jordan Davis again, rushing over the center here. And again, he's going to get pressure, and I have no idea how Dak Prescott gets out of that. It's really frustrating. And he's able to pick up positive yards. But again, pressure, and Jordan Davis was there. You get Josh Uche on this play, coming from the left of the screen. Wins inside again. But the ball comes out fast. On this next one, you're going to get Jordan Davis collapsing the pocket against Tyler Smith, and he gets a hand on the pass. And so there were a lot of times that guys got pressure, and then at the end of the game, you get a TE stunt. So you've got Moro Ojimo rushing outside, Nolan Smith coming inside, and Nolan Smith is going to be the one that gets the pressure here on Dak Prescott, and you force a check down on 3rd and 10, and you get the defense off the field. And so overall, I thought the Eagles' pass rush was a lot better than I expected it to be. They ended up pressuring Dak on 37% of his dropbacks. Now, they didn't get a sack, and you do need to finish, but Josh Uche, Nolan Smith, and Jalix Hunt each had 4 pressures in this game. Jordan Davis had 3. If you add Jalen Carter into that mix, and maybe get somebody that can figure out how to play CB, you could have a pretty good pass rush. So I was more encouraged than I expected.
Agreed. I agree. I also thought it was rubbish live. I also came away feeling pretty good about quite a few pass rushes, especially Josh Uche, and obviously the Eagles have added Zadarius Smith as well. I think Smith, Uche, Hunt, and Smith, and obviously Carter coming back. I'm not as worried about pass rush at all. I am a little bit, and only a little bit, again, it's week 1 and no Jalen Carter, but I thought the run defense was pretty tepid at times up front. So my second point was going to be run defense. I'll be honest, Shane, we can say this, it's a podcast. Moro Ojimo sort of sucked in the run game this week, which is surprising because he's normally quite stout and I like him as a run defender, but he got worked. The Cowboys O-line's physical. The disappointing thing for me for this week for that point was I thought we were quite light up front. We were quite weak. There was quite a few just pretty average run snaps. So from a negative point of view, I'm not going to show a lot of clips of like Ojimo being poor this week. I thought there was quite a few problems run game wise. Yep, sorry, go for it.
I feel like somebody said he was going to be the disappointing player on the defense on our last show with BLG. I can't remember who.
Very nice. Very nice. Maybe. Well, he played a hell of a lot. No Ty Robinson, basically no Gabe Hall. I think short yardage wise, they got beaten up. And it's funny, J-Rock just literally said that as I was going to show my next play. If you go to play 2, this is just what I meant as an example. There's nothing like horrendous. There's no like complete sort of disaster, but it's just a bit of a lack of physicality. It was like 11 yards, I think, on a 2nd and 10 there. And I think was it Byron Young or was it Gabe Hall who got absolutely washed, like completely thrown out of the club. I think they just struggled in general with the Cowboys' physicality, but that's the negative side of it. I tell you who didn't, Shane. Jordan Davis was awesome. Like, he was really, really good. Play 11, if we start there. He was dominant second half. He had, 80% of the snaps? And second half, he was as good as I've ever seen him. Considering how much he played, I think that's pretty incredible. Like, he blows up that one by, I think that's Cooper Beebe, 56, he blows up. But there was more. Just like I said earlier on about I deleted some clips of Grant Calcaterra, I could have played way more Jordan Davis clips when I recorded them. Other one I'll show is play 12. And yeah, there were 5 or 6 examples of this. He had a few good pass rushes as well, but he was good against the run. He was really, really strong. Like, that is dominant. That is a dominant run snap. So I think sort of the good and bad. The bad sides were, I think without Nakobe Dean, they were a little bit lighter linebacker, as you mentioned. Campbell was a bit slow. I think without Carter, Ajobo did not step into his role in the same way. But I think Jordan Davis saved him a little bit in the second half. He really came alive, and I put this in my Discord, but breakout Jordan Davis season, Shane, I mean, 80% of the snaps, obviously physically played well. It's a long, long, long season. But if he looks like that and hopefully won't play 80% of the snaps, I was really impressed with him. And I'm not a big Jordan Davis fan. I think he was better than just clogging up gaps this week. He was penetrating, getting in the backfield. He was pretty dominant at times. So that was cool to see.
Yeah, he played better than I thought too. I knew the run defense wasn't great, and I thought on regular watch that I said on the postgame show, I think it was Jalen Carter being gone was a bigger part of it than Jordan Davis, but I actually thought Jordan Davis was good. It's just the trickle-down effect of Carter's off, Davis is on a ton, and now you're getting guys like Byron Young playing significant snaps, and he's just not ready for that. So I expect that to be a lot better with Carter back, and I'm really excited to see what the pass rush and run defense will look like next week against the Chiefs.
Yeah, Carter being back is going to make a big difference. Right, let's close us off, Shane. Do you want to... Because then I get to end on a real positive, so you can bring us home with your final point. And this is... If you didn't take this, I was going to take this. I knew one of us would. This was a fascinating thing what the Eagles did this week. So talk to the people.
Yeah, so as much as Vic Fangio runs split field coverages, it is nearly always quarters, it's quarter, half. Fangio basically never plays cover 2, like ever. And yet in this game, there was a particular drive where Fangio ran cover 2 3 times in like the span of 6 plays. And it's just interesting. Is that a week 1 anomaly? Is it something they're going to start to do? And you've seen one of these plays already. The first one is the Jahad Campbell play. So I won't break it down much, but Jahad Campbell runs up the middle of the field, makes the great pass breakup. Awesome stuff. You get a little later in the same drive. Now it's Zach Bond's turn. We're again going to have cover 2. Zach Bond is operating in the middle of the field. And I love that the tight end actually tries to get him with like a little stick nod. And he's just right there on it. Boom, breaks up the pass in the end zone. Great stuff by Zach Bond. And then they run it again on 3rd and 22. And I suppose that's fine to call this on 3rd and 22. And they actually drop 8 into coverage here. But I think one of these guys, I think Bond or Campbell messes up here, if I'm being honest. Because there's no way on 3rd and 22, you've got to get to the 1 yard line for a first down, that they are both meant to stay underneath and allow Andrew Makuba one-on-one with a tight end up the seam. Like, one of these guys should be dropping here. So I don't know who messes up, but there's no way that's the way this was designed. And that's the one that ends up with a hospital ball into a Reed Blankenship hit that's flagged. And that just should have never happened, because you should have had one of the linebackers right in this area and Dak not throwing it. So I don't know what went wrong there. Fangio never ran it again in this game, so I don't know who messed up. But I thought it was really interesting that a coverage that they basically never ran last year made an appearance like that. and then that it worked so well 2 times, and then the third time somebody had some sort of lapse, and then we didn't see it again. So I don't know if we'll see it down the road or not, but I thought it was worth mentioning just because it was an anomaly.
Oh, it's absolutely worth mentioning. If you're a quarters team and stuff, like if you're a split safety team, Tampa 2 is just an obvious thing to run, because basically it's impossible for quarterbacks to decide almost what the corners are going to do. It means they can play cloud technique. It means they can jump out routes. It means they can play a lot tighter, which we've seen problems with what Adoree Jackson did again this week. It's nearly impossible to tell, really, between cover 2, cover 4, cover 6 at times. Like, you can blend them so effortlessly. The problem is Tampa 2 sort of sucks. That's the problem around the league, because receivers are freaks now and linebackers can't hang with them unless you're Fred Warner or Zach Bourne, or apparently Jahad Campbell. So, yeah, I think it's really interesting that they didn't run Tampa 2 last year, considering they still had Bourne, and it's probably because if there was a late shift by the offense, if it ended up in the position where Dean was that guy, then it's a disaster. If you've got 2 linebackers that can do it, then screw it. Why the hell not? Like, I think it's absolutely going to be a coverage you will see run this year, because I think at teams that are just going to check it down on the outside, you could get a pick 6. Like, book it. If they run Tampa 2, they'll get a pick 6 this year once, if Quignon can catch. That would help. But they will get one this year. That drop was brutal. But they will get one, because quarterbacks will think, quarters, what do I hit? Short out, short hitch, and all of a sudden they'll think it's quarters and it's not, it's Tampa 2. And the quarterback will be all over it. So that was a big development. Any single coach has got to change schematically. They cannot do the same thing every year. And it's cool to see Fangio trying something new. Almost whatever it is, I was excited to see it, because you can't just run the exact same look every year. Going to bring us home, Shane. Mention 2 players, but it's really 1 player. I'm only going to mention a clip, actually. I won't even show a clip of him. I just wanted to shout out DeJean. He's only a second year player in his second season. Sorry, second year player, second round pick. I just thought he was awesome in this game. I just thought he is so good in zone. Like, yeah, that's a play I was going to show if I was going to show. He is so good in zone match. Like, the way he plays the flat is perfect. His understanding of depth and leverage. He's a freak athlete, but his understanding of where to be, where to stand, almost like his body position to look like he's doing one thing. Like, that's a ridiculous rep. Like, if you look when he breaks on the flat route, Dak is convinced he's got that throw available, because he thinks, right, I can hit the corner behind DeJean, because DeJean's a flat defender. And look at DeJean literally sprint forward and just immediately stop on a dime. It's almost like he's tempting him. It's almost like he knows what he's doing. I think he's awesome. But I have to end this podcast talking about Zach Bourne, Shane. It would be sorry, yeah, go for it.
I got to say this. I'm convinced that on this play, if either Zach Bourne or Cooper DeJean was a worse player and didn't get there, the other one would have had an interception.
Yeah, possibly.
Like, I think either one of these guys was in a position to intercept that. Like, it's such a crazy play for both of them to be able to get there.
And that's why I mentioned them together, and they have a nice high five at the end. But we can't get out of this, Shane, without talking about Zach Bourne. Like, I tweeted this. I think, like, he's Defensive Player of the Year good. And it never goes to linebackers. It's always pass rushers. But in coverage in this game, like, oh my goodness, the amount of clips I could post, and he was unbelievable. His tackling is perfect. He sprints like 100 miles an hour to the running back. Then he just stops and wraps up pretty well. He doesn't go flying past the ball. He flies everywhere. Like, run game, he was good, but pass coverage was just outrageous in this game. You've already mentioned Tampa 2, which was ridiculous. Then we've got the play that you also showed earlier on, where he chased down Miles Sanders from like an effort level that was just top tier. Then we've got the play that we just mentioned there as well. Like, I think I've actually already shown all of the plays that I was going to show, because that last one was the one I was going to end with. So we've actually covered all of them, so I don't need to show anything new. But just in zone coverage, how good he was in this game was genuinely ridiculous. Like, last year was good. I think this year was every bit as good as I remembered. And you think, right, maybe he's going to be a 1-year freak. He's not. Like, he's not. He's going to be an absolute star all year. Yeah, I remember this play as well. Like, his way he reads everything. How this guy's not played linebacker, because his instincts are like he's a natural. Like, I seriously mean that. Like, sort of, there was half the time I was watching the film and I was just like, what on earth am I watching? Like, the guy is incredibly good in coverage. So I'm pretty sure he could line up at safety and do a job. Like, I'd be shocked. He moves so well. And the Miles Sanders chase down was just like the icing on the cake. Like, that's a running back. It's a touchdown. That's a touchdown. And explosive plays win football games, and then they end up getting the fumble plays later. We're incredibly lucky to have him. He will go down in the Eagles as one of the best free agency signings, like, ever. Just an awesome player. And I don't actually think, Shane, we spoke about it enough. So let's just show that play once again with DeJean doing DeJean things, just because we spoke about DeJean playing the flat. Zach Bourne isn't playing the flat, he's playing the hook curl. He's in the middle of the pitch, or field, I should say. Sorry, lingo. And he manages to break.
Which clip number?
14, I think it was. The one that you've shown already. He manages to get there on the corner. Like, this is ridiculous. Look at his position. He's playing nearly like on the Eagles logo, and he's breaking up a corner route. There's no linebackers, maybe Fred Warner, as I mentioned, who can play this. Like, he's just so good instinctively, and he's so athletically good. One of the great performances you can watch of a linebacker in coverage. Like, if you're interested in watching someone in coverage, just go and watch every snap and watch Bourne. It's almost ridiculous how good he is already. Yeah, as I said, defensive player of the year is not an exaggeration. Freak in coverage, freak athlete, instinctively freak. Just, yeah, like a top performance from Bourne.
I drew a dot where he started this play.
It's ridiculous. That you just,
yeah.
I doubt Dak even reads him. I doubt Dak even considers him. Like, you're reading Cuba DeJean, you're reading the quarterback. Who reads Shame? And they're running like a sort of like a variation of this. I guess, I don't know what you called it. What is it? Post in and out, sort of like a 3-level stretch. But then they bring in the guy coming in rather than running out. But basically, you're reading the flat and the deep cornerback, aren't you? That out route, you don't consider the linebacker in a hook curl. Who throws a corner route and reads the linebacker in a hook curl? Like, he's not making it, not in zone. You're reading the outside cornerback if he goes with a deep route, and the flat cornerback takes the first route, you're squeezing it into the intermediate shot, which is what Dak does. Dak reads it probably as you should. But yeah, just honestly, it's so good and fun to watch as well. He's so much fun to watch on film.
When I did my linebacker rankings this offseason, I had him at number 2 behind Fred Warner because he'd only done it for a year. You know, I need to see him do it for a second year. I'm ready to flip that.
Yeah,
like, he did it in game 1. He was every bit as good as he was down the stretch last year. It's truly insane that a guy who in his press conference said, "I'm just excited to get to rush the passer again," is now like the best linebacker in the NFL.
Makes no sense. But I'm just so glad he's here. That's all I can say.
All right. Well, that is going to about do it for this episode. Thank you to everyone that tuned in live, everybody that's listening on the podcast feed later. Remember, if you enjoy this show, we have a lot of exclusive content in our Patreon. Every week, Eagles Eric is going to be writing a preview piece. Jonny is going to be doing a preview film watch-along of previous opponents, so he'll be watching the Chiefs this week to talk about matchups with the Eagles. Every week you'll get my All-22 pass game review. You'll get a player spotlight. Every snap of a player that you vote for, Eric or I will watch, and then you get a better audio-video version of this show as well once it gets through editing and things. So if you enjoy our work, please consider coming and checking that out. You can grab a free 1-week trial, and that's not even mentioning, by the way, the Discord, which is probably the biggest perk of it all. We've got a community of awesome Eagles fans, and Jonny and Eric and I try to hang out in there and talk as much as we can as well. So come hang out. We've got a $3, $5, and $7 a month tier with free 1-week memberships for each of them. You know, we'd love to see you over there. Jonny, anything that you want to shout out before we get out of here?
No. I'm looking forward to covering this week. It's nice when there's a Thursday night game at the start, so you've got the weekend to watch the film, so I could probably just like enjoy this film for what it was. That's probably why I was so mad about the run game, because I was banging my head against the wall for about 2 hours watching it. But yeah, I'm looking forward. Chiefs will be a good one. Off a bad loss, the Chiefs, they are not going to want to go 0-2 to the team that beat them in the Super Bowl. So it's going to be a tough game. The Eagles are going to have to play better than they did on offense this week from a schematic point of view to win that one.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's going to do it for this episode. Again, thank you guys for hanging out. Thank you for all of your support. This is the 101st episode of our show, and so we couldn't do it without you guys listening, so we truly appreciate that. We will catch you guys next time. Your season, your shot. The NFL season is rolling, and every touchdown can bring you closer to a payout with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. From first touchdown score to anytime touchdown props or the thrill of live in-game betting, every snap is loaded with opportunity. And this one is specifically for new customers who can bet just $5 and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Plus over $200 off of NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code PINPULL. That's code PINPULL to get $200 in bonus bets instantly when you place your first $5 bet. Plus over $200 off of NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 8778-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. That is 467369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort, Kansas, 21 plus age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Fees may apply in Illinois. Void in Ontario. Bonus bet expires 7 days after issuance. See sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos. NFL Sunday Ticket offer for new subscribers only and auto renews until canceled. Digital games and commercial use excluded. Restrictions apply. Additional NFL Sunday Ticket terms at youtube.com/go/NFL Sunday Ticket /terms. Limited time offer.
As a scientist, I can tell you that Sundays are only 24 hours long. But with NFL Sunday Ticket and YouTube TV, you get every game every Sunday all in one place. That's upwards of 30 hours of NFL in one day. How can there be 30 hours in 24 hours, you ask? I have a theory. Magic. New users get NFL Sunday Ticket for 8 payments of $34.50 per month. Sign up at NFLSundayTicket.com. Local and national games on YouTube TV. NFL Sunday Ticket for out-of-market games excludes digital-only games and commercial use. Terms and embargoes apply. Availability varies.
You're tuned into Auto Intelligence, live from Auto Trader, where data, tools, and your preferences sync to make your car shopping smooth.
They're searching inventory.
Oh, yeah.
They find what you need.
They're gonna find it.
You can make a budget for your wallet to help you succeed. Pricing's precise and true.
So true.
It's smarter car shopping.
Ooh.
Just for you.
Oh, it's just for you. Ooh. Find your next ride at autotrader.com. Powered by Auto Intelligence.
Membership means more with American Express Business Gold. Earn 4 times membership rewards points in your top 2 eligible spending categories every month, including eligible U.S. advertising purchases and select media, and U.S. purchases at restaurants, including takeout and delivery. What are you waiting for? Get the card that flexes with your spending every month. Terms and points cap apply. Learn more at americanexpress.com/business-gold. Amex Business Gold Card. Built for business by American Express.
This episode is sponsored by Friskies, who would like to tell your cats hi. Now, if that didn't get your cat's attention, there is one thing that always does the trick. Just pour some Friskies crunchy food in the bowl and you'll hear those paws come running. Works every time. With so many Friskies choices, you can always bring your cats running from their secret napping spots. There's always more to explore. See for yourself at friskies.com or visit your local store.